Hi, welcome back to Talk of the Town. We do this every week and we feature businesses and organizations in the greater downtown Ludington area. And right now we are going to be visiting with Melissa Reed. Melissa, how are you?
I'm good, Chris. How are you?
Fantastic today because we get to check out all the fashions here at Moda. And we're going to talk about what that means, right, in just a few minutes. And it's Elevation Fashion by My Sister's Closet. You were down there.
A block away.
And now you're here.
Yes.
And we'll talk a little bit about that change.
Okay.
But I love it. The windows, the design, it really looks great.
We're super happy with it. It was a vision that is 6 months in the making. We decided in November what we were doing.
Well, we're excited about this. And you're opening tomorrow, Thursday, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So the countdown is on and we'll be burning the midnight oil.
Very cool. Well, as we go inside, we're going to check the window and check out some of the fashions there. But tell us a little bit about that design there. So come on inside and we'll check that out. Take us through what you have for the window design and how that came about.
Well, when we took a look at the window, believe it or not, we started with the dress that's in the center, which is a silk dress that has 6 or 7 different colors in it that we absolutely loved.
Okay.
And each of the mannequins in the window is intended to reflect the kinds of women that, or the ages of women, or the styles of women that we can dress. From juniors all the way to formal workwear and prom and athleisure and plus size, because we're size inclusive.
And let's go back outside for just a moment with our camera and show each one of those sizes as you and I are describing them. Let's start with some of them, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Take us through some of those fashions that we're looking at in the window.
Okay, so in the center of the window is what we are calling the dress, which is a dress that we just absolutely fell in love with. It's super modern. It's got some great color mixes, things you don't normally see. And we felt like we could play off that with every single mannequin. To the right of that, we have some green overalls and a shirt, a Columbia shirt. And the idea there with this cloud, sort of tank top, crop top, cloud-based thing underneath. And the idea there was somebody maybe younger or a little more fashion forward. On the other side of her, we could not resist this pleated pant with the paper bag waist, and it's a wide leg pant, which is super, super hot this year. You're seeing it everywhere. Then she, again, is wearing a crop top, and those sleeves will push up or down, so that can go almost anywhere, to a party or to work or whatever. Behind that, we have what we're thinking of as kind of a more modern take on workwear. An office, or if you work in a bank, or if you're visiting clients. That's something that it is classic, it's conservative, but it's still modern. So the old idea of the matchy suit with a shell underneath is not necessarily the way that women dress, especially in our community, which tends to be a little more casual. Then next to that, we have athleisure, and our athleisure offerings are going everywhere from bike shorts and sports bras for workout to loungewear when you're really working out, based on going from the couch to the refrigerator. We're pretty flexible on that, and you can see that we tied the colors in so that the whole window looks comprehensive. The next one is a crop stripe shirt, which is just super current right now. She's got a waist belt and a visor, and that's meant to represent a more casual weekend look, but still pulled together, because there's nothing that says you have to be sloppy on the weekends. And that one is, everything in there is a size 14 or bigger, so that we can make it clear all the time. She will always be in the window that we can fit sizes beyond the typical 2 to 12.
Yeah.
And once we come up the stairs, we have maybe the coolest prom look that we've ever come up with. This is a high-low look with shorts underneath and a chiffon overskirt, nice and covered up, so that you're comfortable, but also with the bare shoulder, which is flattering on everybody. And of course, who doesn't love a little Kate Spade on their way to prom? This one is somebody brought it in, and we just thought, oh my gosh, we're going to be fighting over that.
That's pretty.
So we really wanted the window to tell everybody all at one time.
Okay.
if you're in Ludington, we can dress you.
Yeah.
All the way from size 0 to 26.
And I like how you took the moment and described it as we were looking at each of these mannequins and how they're dressed, because you have and you do believe that here in Ludington we can enjoy style. We can enjoy great style, right?
Exactly. It's a small town, and there are not a lot of better quality, higher end options for women, but not everybody wants to buy their pork chops and their shirts in the same store. And if you do, let me just back up and say, when we were looking at winter coats, when we were working on our winter coat inventory, and I was at the grocery store. There were six styles of winter coats in 4 different colors, a total of 4 different colors. Yeah. Who wants to see somebody wearing the same thing they are, and everybody knows you bought it at the grocery store? That's just no fun.
Yeah,
that's no fun. Fashion is not just what you wear. Fashion is expression. It's a personal style, and it's art. It's wearable art. So it should make you happy every day. For me personally, if I get dressed in the morning and nobody says anything all day long about something I'm wearing or the bag I'm carrying or the shoes I'm wearing, I'm sort of disappointed.
You want them to be able to. Yeah, no, that's it. And when you look around the store, the colors are very vibrant. And I see that, we're entering spring. We want to see this. Where towards the fall, we might see some different shades of colors in here, correct?
They change. There are some colors, of course, that are great for all seasons. Navy blue is a good example, and sort of a deep salmon coral is a great all year round color. And of course there are no rules anymore. You can wear white, pants or shoes before.
Can you?
You can.
Okay,
you
that's
can.
good to know.
The only rule is don't wear something that doesn't make you feel great.
Okay, that's good to know. We're looking at some of the items there. Do you want to help point things out? And as you're doing that, take us through, because people are going to be asking about Moda, and what does that mean? Take us through that.
Well, when we look at shoes, and in fact, when you look at the entire inventory right now, the store is super full. We have about 4,000 items on the floor, all told, and it's a funny time of year. We all have spring fever, but it's still really cold out. Yeah. We're all still wearing coats when we go outside. So we tried to make sure that our opening mix was in that perfect bridge season. You know what I mean? Maybe some long sleeves but lighter fabrics, or things that are designed to wear a jacket over them. Shoes that still cover most of your foot but leave your toes exposed. Make sure we have pedicures before we do that.
Absolutely, yeah.
And all of it is meant to express a point of view that says style matters to me.
Okay.
And style is something that we really invested in, because moda actually means style in both Spanish and Italian. So when we said moda, elevated fashion by my sister's closet, we meant the best of what we have ever offered, and that it has to be style. So even when we come to work, we always say come to work ready to work. So we want everyone that works here to be ready to work, but make it fashion. So if you're going to wear cutoff jeans, they need to be fashion.
There you go. And as we're making our way around the room, we see the handbags that you have. You have a lot of accessories, but you also have team members that have been with you for quite a long time too, right?
I do. Working at the counter for our last minute crush is Rose Rangel. Rose came to work at my sister's closet way back when we were on South James Street in 2016, and she has been there. So that's 7 years now, right? And she worked 1 day a week when she had a full-time job, and after she retired, we talked about it, and we worked so well together that I asked her to manage the store. So Rose is our store manager, and maybe that's fun, and maybe that means everything is on your shoulders. It's hard to tell. And what you saw, Rose.
A lot of women.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And you're working on, before tomorrow's opening, you're working on some of the jewelry, getting everything out there, which is good.
Get everything out, because with outfits you have to have jewelry.
Louder.
Absolutely.
So If you look at the rack of clothes that are here, you can see that that we still want to put more inventory on the floor. We want it to be full but still shoppable, and all of these things, which are great, and all of them are 1X or larger, came in yesterday, and it was just too good for us to leave in our intake area. And so one of the things we like best is that it's never the same store every day, because we're always getting in new inventory, and when we get a chance, we'll talk about how we do that.
Take us through, you mentioned this a couple of times in regards to sizes. Do you see that we struggle out there to find the right sizes no matter what body type we have?
I think so. I really think so. The experience I have, I am not a small woman, and I'm always gonna work on that, right? But it's a struggle to dress fashionably and to dress stylishly and to dress in a way that is comfortable without being too dated or too relaxed looking, can I say?
That makes sense.
And so I felt very strongly that not only did we want to carry all sizes, we also wanted to put it all together. So a rack of dresses, for example, or shoes or formal wear will start at size 0 and go all the way to the largest size we have in that line, in order to let women shop together. A lot of women come in with their friends or their daughters or or whatever it might be, and it isn't any fun when the smaller sizes are shopping here, and the larger sizes have to go to some sort of separated area. We just don't. I can remember a department store when my friend and I were shopping, and I was wearing plus size clothing, and she was in what we call straight sizes, which is just a normal, what you would think of, and I had to go to a plus department, which meant I had to leave that department and my friend walk past the jewelry and past the makeup, past the accessories, past the menswear, past the home goods, and then I ended up in plus size. That's no fun at all, and that's not something that we're interested in.
Because we shop with friends. We want to be able to have that experience of shopping.
We intend for it to be an experience that that women genuinely enjoy. There are a couple of really conscious decisions we made to ensure that happens. And one of those things is that though most of our inventory is either gently worn or previously purchased and then someone changed their mind, it's displayed as though you are in the finest department store, the finest boutique in Michigan, or even beyond that.
And you've done that research by going to other stores in other cities, being able to get a lot of that feedback from locals here, but also look at that regional feel, the bigger cities, be able to bring that style, the fashion, the shopping experience right here to Ludington.
I really appreciate you calling my love of shopping research.
No, it's
Thank
good.
you very much.
Absolutely. Now, is everything brought in from the consumer, or how does this work when you collect everything here and you sell that? Is it all consignment? Do we use that word? What is
there's first, let me start by saying I don't see consignment or secondhand or resale to be words that are avoided or that we'd rather not mention. We are a consignment and secondhand store, and we are proud of doing that.
Absolutely.
I'm very conscious of the fact that textile waste is 4% of the entire waste stream in the United States. So we worry as individuals about, our packaging and how much we're wasting there, or disposing of old appliances or old furniture or building materials or industrial waste. 4% of it is clothing. 4% of our entire waste stream. That's 68 pounds per person per year.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's a staggering amount, and and very often it's just something that doesn't work for the individual woman that purchased it. She had an idea, she bought something to wear for a special occasion, and won't wear it again. It looked better in the store with their skinny mirror than it does at home, whatever it might be. Or her life has changed. She no longer uses workwear or whatever it would be. So women are always cycling clothing in and out of their own personal closet. and for us, we're happy to do that. And generally speaking, the garments we choose, of course we're current, of course everything is in perfect condition. You would never know that somebody has owned it previously and possibly worn it previously. If you can tell that they've worn it previously, you won't find it on our floor.
That's good to hear. Okay. Very fantastic. And some of the items you're looking for, some are clothes, sandals, bags. What sort of items can we tell our viewers if they've got something in their closet? Because you've brought up a very good point. Instead of throwing it away or letting it just sit there, it could be in somebody else's hands without them having to then go shop somewhere else, and we continue to keep that cycle of that 4% going, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The summer is coming, so we don't need anything that is spring right now. We don't really need long pants right now. We don't need 3/4 sleeves or long sleeves right now. We don't need coats right now. Okay. Handbags and shoes, we always want and we always need. Because it's a particular obsession of mine, it has sort of evolved into being a particular obsession of the entire staff. And our customers are familiar with the idea that the most beautiful handbags are going to be in our store. And as the important thing about that is that we'll take those handbags anytime, regardless of style. We'll take great shoes, regardless of style, anytime. But summer is coming, and people can't wait to buy short sleeves, to buy tank tops, to buy sundresses. I don't know if I would say people can't wait to buy bathing suits, because that's always, that's often traumatic, but but we do carry bathing suits. And again, our bathing suits, like every other garment in the store, you will not see any wear. There's not going to be any, if somebody's sitting on the edge of the pool, there's not going to be any snags on the bottom or whatever it is. We have a really simple consignment process.
Okay.
In this location, we are next door to Trailhead Bike Shop, and then beyond Trailhead Bike Shop is the port. So our consigners will come around behind the building, and we have double doors that are which is our consignment drop off at our lower level. Okay. So consigners, there's no grabbing of a handful of garments and lugging them up Ludington Avenue and then doing the walk of shame if we can't take something and walking them back to the car. Yeah. We have a dedicated drop-off space, and we store everything. Everything is temperature controlled down there and protected from dust or light or whatever. And they'll park right at our doors. We'll take their things and go through them right away. Okay, and we can take 40 items at a time.
Okay, fantastic. So you are looking for items to continue to replenish. There are some times throughout the year that you want to kind of throttle back, though, too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. A good example of that is in Ludington, sidewalk sales, for example, are generally the first weekend in August. So it doesn't make any sense for us to take summer inventory in late July, knowing that our consignor is not necessarily going to get the best price for it, because it'll all go on sale for August. So in August, we want back to school and fall things. And then as we get into the middle of fall, we are definitely looking at holiday. Okay. Everyone thinks that because we're in a small town that's a little more laid back, that we don't need or they don't need, women don't need holiday wear. But there's something about this season that makes you want to put on something sparkly. And we make sure that we have a lot of options. Of course, things are slower in the winter than they are in the summer. We are open year-round regardless, but they're slower, so we tend to take less cold weather than we do the hot weather stuff.
And we had seen, as we were looking around, you have rentals as well. You have formal wear, so the Texas Injustice, because primarily the store is dedicated to the woman, to the female there.
Yes.
But a guy could come in and get a tux. On occasion, will they find some of their items, a pair of shoes, or are we really focused on women here in the Ludington area?
For men in this area, we only do the tuxedo rentals. The tuxedo rental started for us when we worked with Chris and Vicki Raven as Raven's men's and women's wear was closing in 2015. And in my conversation with them, we bought a lot of their fixed store fixtures and hangers and things like that. And in my conversation with them, they convinced me to try tuxedo rentals, that a full-time store with long-term employees that know exactly how to fit someone, that's open every day. That was something that really had some value. So we started doing tuxedo rentals. I have 2 tuxedos being picked up today because Mason County Central's prom is on Saturday, for example, and we do weddings, and we're really, really skilled and familiar with the fit of tuxedos. So for men, the tuxedos, this is the place to do it.
All right, fantastic. Before we wrap up, there is something special about this line over here, right? I'll let you introduce it and talk through it a little bit.
It is. Obviously, employees that work here love fashion, and hopefully they love it as much as I do. So each week, we are asking our employees, we have 6, and each week we are asking them to pick the things that make their heart go pitter patter. And this is where they will go week after week after week. This is the stuff that employees wish they could own, right? Or want to own or plan to own if a customer doesn't buy it first. So because we have 6 employees and we have 48 inches of clothing and you can put 1 item per inch, we have 48 items here that employees have picked. And just to give you an example of that, Rose, come show me something that you selected. I'll show you something that I selected as well, which is this J. Crew ribbed sweater dress. This is just so cool and so modern, and it's definitely a favorite for me. And then, what do you have? Jones, New York. It's super cool. It's got like a double row of top stitching on it. It's just irresistible, and I would not be surprised if Rose ends up with this, but customers will get the first shot at it. Yeah. Jamie Snyder, who you have seen in some of our videos and who is working for us starting tomorrow, did the display up top, and this outfit was selected by a 3-year veteran of ours who has been here since she was 15 years old, whose name is Bella Hittema. And then this gorgeous Brahmin handbag came in yesterday, and that's a selection of Jamie's. So and then this one was also a selection of Jamie's. So we love clothes, and we want to share that.
Yeah. And you had talked, and before we wrap up, we wouldn't do justice if we didn't talk about some of the brands, because that is something that you are excited about, is seeing some of those brands that we might not see anywhere in the Ludington area, right?
There are brands that you almost certainly won't see in the Ludington area. Just to give you an example, this is a Donna Karan. And it's 100% silk. It's a little bit larger size. It's a size 12, which we absolutely love. And there's nowhere to buy that. You certainly can't buy it at the grocery store, but you also can't buy it anywhere else in town. This one is a Joseph Ribkoff, which is a super cool duster, perfect for this kind of weather where you might have a tank and a pair of black pants. That's my uniform, and it's the uniform for a lot of people. And then you need something attention-getting to throw over it. We're looking at mall brands like J. Crew and Talbot's and Ann Taylor and Loft and Cachet, and department store brands like Joseph Ribkoff, specialty brands like Brahmin. We have handbags that are, we did a huge buy on handbags ourselves that are Coach and Kate Spade and Michael Kors and Fossil, and we really are focusing on that. All of the jewelry that we carry, which is the last thing we're working on because jewelry is tedious to price. All of the jewelry that we carry is either branded jewelry, or meaning that we actually know who manufactured it, or it's precious metals. Okay. So there's no, nothing's going to turn your finger green. Yeah, that's good. And that's really important to us. When we look at shoes, we're looking at the kinds of shoes that certainly that you can buy in the better stores locally, but but also department store brands again that are really, and they're, of course, they're all in perfect condition, no toe marks, no spots, no stains, no snags, no damage. So.
All right, looking forward to it. It is opening day, first day this Thursday. Take us through times. There's a ribbon cutting ceremony as well.
Sure.
Take us through what's happening tomorrow.
Sure. So our doors open to the public tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on Thursday, April 20th. And we're a member of the Chamber, of course. We have been since before we opened and always would be. I'm a former Chamber of Commerce executive. So, so I certainly know the value of being a member of the Chamber. And they're coming to do a ribbon cutting. They're just incredibly supportive to us and so patient, because this is now my third ribbon cutting. We've moved a couple of times, and they are such good people that they'll show up every time I move a store. So, so that ribbon cutting is at 10:30, and we're not wasting shoppers' times with balloons or cookies or something like that. We're just going to come right in and say, listen, just come in and shop. Listen to some cool music, and and we'll be playing WMOM on there, and listen to some cool music. Get a hold of our vibe, because you're just gonna love it.
Yeah, no, it's a great store. The colors that you've picked, the style, obviously the new name. People will see that it's smaller than your previous store, but look at how much you've packed in here, and still given room to shop. And I love that part of it.
Well, that's a really important thing. It doesn't matter what's on a rack if you can't slide the hangers back and forth.
Right.
So our commitment that we have is that every rack, you can go like this to look more closely at something. If you wanted to look more closely at this Michael Kors cold shoulder 3/4 length sleeve shirt, then you can. It's easy to do. So we have little tank tops and things like that. It's just super important to us that it's shoppable and approachable, but there's still plenty to choose from. This rack, for example, is just pants and shorts in a size medium, and so if you look at the, that's just pants and shorts. So,
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
We want it to be very shoppable and very comfortable. And when we started with the name, it was my sister's closet, and that's because I do have a sister. And growing up, we always borrowed clothes from each other. And when we refer to each other, or when we're sending a group text, those of us that work here call each other sisters all the time. So so we're, there's plenty of love and joy and power and influence and money for women to go around. And so we really have that vibe in our heads.
That's fantastic. You open at 10 o'clock tomorrow.
10 a.m.
Till when?
We're open 10 to 6 tomorrow, and that will continue Monday through Saturday throughout for the future. Sundays we're open from 12 to 5.
Okay, fantastic.
And we are open year round. So.
All right.
And we will always stay late if somebody has a fashion emergency, or they need to pick up a tuxedo or drop off a tuxedo or be measured for a tuxedo, or they have an event and they're not getting out of work quite in time to make our hours. We'll stay late. We're here to sell clothes.
That's fantastic. And you're going to do well. And you're very active on social media as well. So make sure you check it out, their Facebook page and Instagram and such.
Moda Elevated Fashion by My Sister's Closet.
You got it. Very great.
Thank you.
Melissa, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks so much, Chris.
Let's go over those events and happenings. And by the way, if anybody wants to find out more information, go to downtownludington.org. We have a whole list of items to take part in this weekend and the next few months, and even the year, especially with the 150th anniversary that's coming up, the sesquicentennial here in Ludington. Let's go over a few for you today, including this Saturday at 6 p.m. It's the 27th Annual Athletic Boosters Auction at the Fountain Town Hall. $10 per person will get you through the door. You'll get a bidding number. There's a taco bar and desserts, water and coffee. You may also even bring your own beverages. Many items to be auctioned off, and the proceeds will go to the Mason County Eastern Athletic Department. So we're looking forward to helping them out. Coming up this Friday from 8 until 11 p.m., it's the Charlie Millard Band at the Mitten Bar. From Michigan's northern lower peninsula, the Charlie Millard Band has developed a unique sound, and you love them, voice and their thought-provoking lyrics, and as well poetry of their own. That's taking place at the Mitten Bar. They've played in places like the Frederick Meyer Gardens, Shorts Brewing Company, and many other spots. And they're going to be at the Mitten, which is kind of just right down the road from here, coming up from 8 until 11 p.m. This Friday. Let's go over a few other items. And again, downtownludington.org is the place that you want to find these events and more. Sunday at 4 p.m., Earthwork Music Collective at LACA. The Earthwork Music is a collective steward of community collaboration and creativity. In a rare and exciting display of these tenets, Earthworks Music is hitting the road in April for their tour, and they are stopping at LACA, and you can get your tickets. They've been in places like Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids, Traverse City, and they're performing their songs and telling their stories at the Ludington Area Center for the Arts, coming up this Sunday, 4 o'clock. Tickets to the LACA performance are $30 in advance, $35 at the door, and tickets can be purchased online, so make sure you plan on that. This coming Saturday at 10 a.m., the annual ACE Run at the Mason County Campgrounds. It's a disc golf course and picnic area, so you want to check that out. 2 rounds of 18, shotgun start, check in at 9 a.m. till 9:45. Tee off is at 10 a.m. and the raffle they have for $5 per ticket. Tickets available for purchase on site, and they have men's and women's prizes. And make sure you check that out. It's Saturday, 10 a.m., the annual ACE Run, Mason County Campgrounds. And finally, to talk about today is this coming Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m., the Family Fun Day at the Lakeshore Food Club area. The free Family Fun Day hosted by the Forest Trail Wellness and sponsored by the Children's Trust, Michigan Mason County Council. Make and take container gardens, stress balls, learn about family wellness and mindfulness. Try their family yoga and meditation as well. Want to know more information about that event? Again, downtownludington.org. It's Chris with Talk of the Town. We do this every week on the Thursdays normally. Today was just an early bird one because Moda is opening up tomorrow at 10 a.m. And we'll see you next week here on Talk.